You're listening to episode 281 of the Membership Guys podcast. Today, we're going to be talking all about celebrating the milestones of your membership business, why you might want to make sure that you're doing that, and what we recently did to celebrate a big milestone for Membership Academy. So we're going to be diving into all of that in just a sec.
You're listening to the Membership Guys podcast, bringing you proven, practical tips and advice from the leading experts on growing a successful membership business each and every week. And now, here's your host, Mike Morrison.
Hello. Welcome to episode 281 of the Membership Guys podcast. I am your host, Mike Morrison, one half of the Membership Guys. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're staying safe, staying sane, and that you are ready for another dose of membership advice. If you are a first-time listener, just hit pause on your podcast app momentarily and then hit the subscribe button to make sure that you do not miss a single weekly episode of the Membership Guys podcast. Make sure you hit unpause and come back, though. It would be an awful shame if you forgot and then went off and did something else and you missed out on what will be a very useful episode today. If you're a long-time listener, you know I love you, you know I appreciate you. Thank you for your continued support and for listening to the show, for all your great feedback, your reviews and all that good stuff. Today we're talking all about celebration, in particular celebrating milestones in your membership business. So when we're talking about membership milestones, they could be things like the anniversary of your launch, or as Callie likes to call it, your memberversary. She tries to fit that word in literally any opportunity, but the anniversary of your launch, so the birthday of your membership, that's a big milestone. Or it could be a milestone such as hitting a particular number of members. Now, usually this will be an all-time number of members, so the total number of people since you launched who have come through your doors. There's nothing more embarrassing than throwing a big celebration to mark hitting 1,000 active members, and then one of them cancels 5 minutes before, taking you down to 999. So you want to go with all-time members if you're celebrating member number milestones. It might be milestones based around particular member successes or outcomes. So maybe if you've got a weight loss membership, perhaps you have a milestone based around the cumulative total of how much weight you have helped people to lose within your fitness community. Or maybe it's the 1,000th successful Facebook ad campaign started, or you're celebrating $1 million in increased sales experienced by your members. So your milestone is centered around member success. These sort of milestones warrant celebration. So you should be looking for ways in which you can mark the occasion. Now, your natural inclination as a business owner or as a marketer might be to try to use these kind of milestones as an opportunity for a sales promotion. And that's certainly one way that you can go. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe offering a discount or bonuses, perhaps a trial or an open weekend or something like that. However, I do think with these type of milestones in particular, you should seek to inject a bit of extra fun into things. After all, you can run sales promotions anytime you want. You don't need to tie them to a milestone. You don't need that preface. You don't have to turn a celebration into a sales pitch. You can be more creative with these milestones. Now, in years gone by within the Academy, we've tended to schedule major updates for Membership Academy to our annual anniversary. So we'd kind of save up the changes, the new features and stuff that we were introducing, whether it was an overhaul of our membership roadmap feature or the introduction of a new content format. I believe we connected the release of our member-only theme for the very first time to our first anniversary. Perhaps it's a change in your website design, what have you. Our birthday celebrations have typically in the past been all about announcing what's coming next. You know, celebrating our third anniversary, and we've got the all-new Membership Academy with this fresh lick of paint, these great things, all that sort of stuff. So that can work really well. You know, if you're planning any big additions, if you're planning a price increase, if you're planning, you know, to switch to a new community platform or something like that, then tying that to your anniversary gives just a little bit of extra significance and, you know, gives you a way of marking the occasion that isn't just hey, here's this new sales promo, this new discount, or whatever. Something else that we've always done on our anniversary is release a special episode of the Membership Guys podcast where me and Callie recap the previous 12 months. We talk about what's gone on. We talk about what's ahead. We give people a behind the scenes look at our business. So while year round, this podcast is just me. It's a solo show. Every now and then I'll have interview guests on, but I am the host of the show. Callie's got her own second show. When it comes to that anniversary episode, I of course always do that with Callie, and they're always amongst the most popular episodes we've ever done, as we get really quite candid with the highs and lows of running our membership. People love that little peek behind the scenes. So we've always marked the anniversary of Membership Academy as a yearly milestone, more so than anything else that's gone on in our business. This year, we stepped things up a bit as it was the 5th anniversary of the Academy. So for us, that was a big milestone. We knew we wanted to do something special. We've been inspired by one of our members, Vivara, from startblogup.com, who throws these really fun virtual parties to celebrate milestones in her membership, where it's just about her hanging out with her members. No hidden agenda, totally informal and relaxed. There's birthday cake, candles, everyone just comes together and has a good time virtually. So we knew we wanted to do something similar to mark the 5th anniversary of Membership Academy. But as typically happens with us, that one simple idea snowballed. It became bigger and bigger and bigger. So our one-off birthday party turned into a 5-day virtual event. 5 years, 5 days, totally made sense. So we called this Member Palooza. Some of you who are listening might have been part of it. And Member Palooza was actually a name we'd originally considered for our live conference, which we ended up calling Retain Live. But since then, we'd hung on to the domain name, and Callie in particular really wanted to find a use for it. So this was the perfect fit. We went all out in the branding. We made a whole big thing out of it. We mocked up essentially kind of like a festival poster, and we packed out a 5-day schedule of live events, basically a week of fun and festivities to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the launch of Membership Academy, this big milestone for our business. So there was a mix of virtual parties. So our opening party, it had birthday cake. It had cocktails. We had a signature cocktail, in fact, that we called the Membershipper. And here's a pro tip. Never let Callie mix the cocktails because she makes them strong. Facebook Live, while very rapidly getting drunk, is definitely a new experience. So we had that going on. We had party hats, bunting, silly virtual confetti effects on our video, all that sort of daft stuff. And during that opening party, we were able to share some pre-recorded birthday messages from our members and from some of our friends. We use a great service called videoask.com to give people an easy way of recording those short video messages just to say happy birthday. And some people took the opportunity to say a little bit about how the Academy has helped them in the last 5 years. So we sprinkled some of those into our opening party. But otherwise, it was just about letting people know what was coming up during the week and hanging out with them, having a laugh, having good fun for an hour or so. And then we had a similar kind of closing party at the end of the week, which again, it was cocktails. There was no cake. We'd eaten the cake. And obviously it was more about recapping the week and talking about what's coming up in the future. So no agenda, no kind of sitting down thinking, okay, if we get people on this call for an hour, what can we do to make sure that during that hour we drum up some membership sales? We didn't give a toss about that. It was just about celebrating this milestone and just hanging with our members and having fun with them. And then throughout the week, we had a couple of free live workshops. We did some short Facebook Live training sessions. We did a live podcast recording. So a few episodes ago, you will have heard our 5th anniversary episode of the podcast where we recapped the last 12 months. We actually broadcast the recording of that live, so people could sit in on the audience as we recorded that. We did some live Q&As, and then on the Wednesday, we also did something called Retain Replay, which is where we staged almost a mini live conference featuring a hand-picked selection of recorded sessions from our 2-day conference that we ran in 2019, Retain Live. So this is content that was previously only available to people who attended the event or who got the recordings inside Membership Academy. We broadcast those via Facebook as premiere videos, so they kind of streamed just the way a live video would, or as a live TV program would, so you had to attend and watch live. And then we interspersed those with a couple of live segments featuring Callie and myself too, to really give it that event feel. And it went down extremely well. And while all of this stuff was available for free, so it was all public, we didn't gate it in any way, so we didn't even ask people for their email addresses. It was all public free stuff, but we did include a few member-only events during Memberpalooza too. And we actually used this celebration as an excuse to test run a couple of things that we've been considering introducing into the Academy, like member mixer calls and small group masterminds. So this was a great chance to just test run those things and see whether the response we got suggested that there was something we should incorporate into the Academy in the future. The mastermind calls in particular went very well, and so that's something we're now going to be doing regularly inside Membership Academy. And then we also did some fun giveaways during the week too. We gave away a few $100 worth of Amazon gift cards. We gave away copies of our book. We gave away swag bundles with t-shirts and stickers and a bunch of other cool stuff as well. So we just had a lot of fun with it week long. It was a lot of work, but also it was just a lot of fun. And I think that that's the key when celebrating these type of milestones in your business. Anniversaries, member milestones, hitting a target for number of successful members or what have you. You've got to find the fun. Don't just be looking for the sales and marketing angle. Treat these things as a true celebration. You can do salesy stuff. You can run promotions anytime. These kind of milestones are generally fewer and further between. And even if the idea of doing something non-salesy without a marketing angle, a sales angle, if that idea doesn't sit well with you, then from a marketing and sales standpoint, there's a huge amount of value in strengthening your connection with your audience, in forging a more personal bond, getting more of your personality out there, and giving without the expectation of receiving. All of those things actually do wonders for you on a marketing and a brand building front too. And for further proof, we had a whole bunch of new member signups during our Memberpalooza celebrations. Even though we didn't have any offers, we didn't have any trials, we didn't have a day dedicated to sales pitching. We've seen live events before where it's 2 days of content and then a day of just relentless pitching. None of that nonsense. There wasn't a single sales pitch for the Academy. There was a cursory mention in the closing party. That's it. But for some people, just getting to hang out with us and with our members was enough to get them off the fence if they'd previously been considering us, or there were some people who very first discovered us through Memberpalooza, and for them, it was enough to pique their interest, to send them down the rabbit hole of seeing what the Academy was all about. And the fact that they got a dose of what our style is, what our personality is, and that they could see that we are all about giving, we're all about serving, we're not just looking for the angle to pitch. That made the difference, and it led to a lot of people joining. But even if that hadn't happened, even if we hadn't got a single sale, it would have all been worth doing just to mark that major milestone for us in our business and to hang out with the thousands of people in our audience who turned up to help us celebrate our birthday. So think about any milestones that are coming up for you in your membership. What plans, if any, do you have for celebrating them? What could you do to mark the occasion and make it fun for you and your members? Because those milestones deserve to be celebrated, and doing so can really strengthen the bond between you and your audience. And even if the idea of celebrating your milestone in a way that doesn't directly drive sales, even if that idea is like sacrilege to you, just know that strengthening the bonds, building those relationships, ultimately is going to be key to your sales and marketing strategy in the long run. All right, that is it from me. I hope you found this useful. I know this was much more just about giving you a bit of a glimpse behind the scenes into how we celebrated this major milestone for our business. But I do hope the message has got across both about the type of milestones you should be looking to celebrate and also about, the importance of just finding the fun and celebrating this stuff without the sales angle, without trying to shoehorn a discount or something salesy in there. Sometimes you can just have fun with it. In fact, if you're not having fun in your business, you're doing something wrong. So that is it from me. I'll be back again next week with another episode of the Membership Guys podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys soon.